Good afternoon. I walked these places, as you know. I was a monk walking to spread the word of my faith. If I am honest, my faith was encapsulated within what I saw and where I walked. The animals back then did not have the fear of me that they would have now. No one was going to hurt them, unlike now. I could walk up to the deer sometimes, and they would not balk if I touched them. Some would move away from me, others would take no notice. This is the difference between when I lived amongst and the times you exist in. The air was so clear. It was good to take in a big breath and hold it for a few seconds and then release it again. It smelt good. It even tasted good. I would stand high up and look over the landscape below and focus on what God had made for me to look at. It had to be some sort of almighty energy to have done this, didn't it? I would sit on a rock and muse the situation, drinking in all that I could see, and that was for what you call miles. Some mornings there would be a mist hanging in the treetops, a veil so thin and angelic that it would take my breath away. The sun would be rising and it would reflect on the water particles resting on the bushes near to me, and I would watch the colours within those drops as they shimmered and finally dried up as the sun's heat worked its magic. Sleep to me was partaken curled up under a tree, and it would be cold and damp in the springtime, but as the sun's heat penetrated my bones it was glorious. Grass would heat up and give off an aroma. Rabbits would run about heading for home. Birds would take to the air and call one another as they were a mated pair. Eagles were not a rarity as they are now. Your farmers made sure they were shot to protect their animals. There is no need for this. How many lambs do they think a pair of birds could eat? I would walk in vast forest. In the summer it was a welcome release from the extreme heat of the day. The shafts of sunlight would penetrate through the canopy of the branches above me, and dust particles would play within the light. I loved to watch this when I stopped for a rest. Squirrels and small animals would continue their day foraging as I sat and watched them, totally unconcerned by me as I sat still, presenting no threat. I can say that I am glad I do not live with you in your times from this perspective. There are no places as I used to wander in. Some would say, yes, there are. I disagree. You have quiet places, yes, but I had all of this to myself. I met no one. There was no noise, no automobiles, no shouting, and no aeroplanes, just the wind in the trees, the birds, and wildlife. Where could you go without having to climb into an aeroplane and go to some far-flung place to see what I am telling you about? How much money would it cost you? Mine was for free. Planet Earth is in an awful position now, and the population of this planet over the generations has caused it. Pollution in so many forms, so many decisions made behind closed doors that have been utilised without any ordinary person being asked if they agree. Power equals money, and the truck is running downhill and getting faster and faster. It has to be stopped before it hits the bottom, or everything will be lost. Open your eyes, please. There is so much that you could see on the level that you exist on. I wish you could see what I have seen, experience all that I have experienced, for it was glorious. It was where I made my peace with God the Creator. It was where I, if I'm honest, turned my back on the teachings of my church and turned to God the Creator of all that I was looking at and living within. God bless you all. You only have one planet and it belongs to everyone, not just those that manipulate behind those closed doors.